Welcome to this week's live stream. The broadcast today for you that I've prepared is such a timely one as we some of you are winding down summer and preparing to transition into the school year. So today I'm going to be giving you a 3-part plan to successfully ease back into your school year, whether you're homeschooling, whether your kids go to school, whether they're preschoolers or whether these are their last few years that you have them at home. This is for you. And be sure to grab a pen and paper for this one. I am going to ask you to take notes as we go through because this is a very structured workshop today. And even though I couldn't get the Zoom platform to work, we're just going to roll with it here on a Facebook Live. And so hopefully as you guys join, let me know, say hello, let me know if everything's working on your side and you can hear me okay. Tell me where you're listening from. I cannot wait to connect with you guys here. So let me just drop a little note in the Facebook group real quick, just to let everybody know that we are on and that you guys can join. Okay. Hi, Virginia. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys. So we got this working. It looks like we're rocking and rolling. So join me today for this awesome 3-part plan on easing back into school time, school year, homeschooling, or kids going off to school. Otherwise known as a massive transition time, right? Whether your kids are little or whether they are in their last few years with you at home, this talk today, this workshop is going to be so important to help you feel prepared and empowered and more confident about handling what comes. Okay, so here's the deal. This talk is really mostly for you. If you're someone who struggles, you already know you get stressed around transitions. You worry when you aren't in control of all the pieces. Maybe you're sort of prone toward anxiety, or you have a child who is prone to get anxious when they don't know the plan. They get reactive or snappy or overwhelmed a lot and have meltdowns a lot. Maybe, and this could be you or your child, you feel overwhelmed, you feel irritable, you get exhausted, or you just feel lost when there's a schedule change or a transition change. So if this is you and these are things that you struggle with, or you have a kiddo who is strong-willed, who doesn't do well with transitions, and you tend to sort of have a lot of meltdowns or blow-ups, you're someone who worries that you don't know how things are going to go. You know, what teacher, what class is my kid going to be in? What teachers are they going to have? Does my teenager get the schedule that she wants and needs, or have friends in her classes? If any of these things come up for you, or you struggle to hold routine, consistency, or schedules, then this talk is for you. Get your notebook and pen. I want you to take notes. I'm going to ask you to use them at the end of this training today. So who's ready? Let me know. Say ready in the chat if you're ready to rock and roll for this talk and to hear your 3-step plan. You are the author of your experience. You are the author of your life. You are writing it either way. You're going to write it for chaos or to be in survival mode, or you're going to design it to work for you and for you to feel successful and for your family to be the family that you want to be in. You're writing the story either way. So I want to just start with that kind of wake up, come to this talk, realizing you are a powerful creator of your experience. No one else is writing the story for you. It's either your default inner patterning, the patterning your parents gave you, or it is you at the wheel being the leader of yourself and your life. Whoever is here that wants to be a leader for themselves in their lives, that wants to write a new story, that wants to come out of the gates beginning this week, this month in August of 2024 to create the life that you want on your terms, then say yes in the comments now. Let me know if you're here to play full out, if you are ready to design a life on your terms that works for you and creates more joy for your family and for your children. Happier relationships, more flow, more ease. If you're ready for that, say ready, say yes in the comments. And when you guys are ready, we're going to dive in. Okay. Okay, you guys. People are coming on now to join us. So you can catch up if you are just now joining us. We're talking about a 3-part plan to ease back into your school year with less emotional drama and more peace for you and for everyone. All right, you guys, the first step, step 1, if you're going to do anything, if you're going to start anything, change your schedule, create a new routine, transition back to the school year, then your number one task, and those of you who've worked with me in Awakened Motherhood or in Abundance Generator already know this, probably what I'm going to say, but your number one step that you do not want to skip no matter what is to set your intention. Always, forever, and around everything. Set your intention. How do you want the school year to go? So write this down. How do I want this school year to go? And I'm going to give you a couple different points to journal about. And you can do it after the talk, but try to jot them down here. The replay will be available. If you missed something, it's okay. You can go back. But I started this talk by saying you're the author of your experience. You are the sculptor of your world. What shapes you design are going to show up in your reality. You're either creating by default patterning or what your family gave you, or you're doing it for yourself in the way that feels good to you from your heart, from that divine design. If you lack intention, that means you're not really being a decision maker for your life. You haven't decided how you want it to go. You haven't stated that to yourself and your life. You haven't said that to God in the universe. This is how I want this to go. You get to decide. In fact, you must decide. You're deciding either way, consciously or unconsciously. So the step 1 is set your intention for how you want this school year to go, even how you want the transition to go. And then I want you to narrow it down. How do you want this time to feel for you? How do you want to feel moving through this transition, you guys? Think about it for a minute. Feel into it. Like, what do I want for me? What is my vibration, my feel? What is my sense that I want to have as I support my kids in moving back into the school year, as I move through that space and time? What do I want for me? And I want you to also think of, what do I want for my children? How do I want this school year to go? So a lot of you will automatically go there first. So you can do the kids first and then you can do you, but do both. How do I want this transition to feel for me? Whether I'm starting back homeschooling and that means, oh my God, the planning, the scheduling, the routines, the co-op days, the whatever, or whether it means, oh my God, I hope everything goes well for my tween in school and she's surrounded by nice people and her friends. And oh my God, I've heard horror stories about middle school and I've heard that girls are terrible and my experience was so terrible, and you're reliving your past trauma. You're either living in that past trauma or you're setting a new intention. Today is a new day. This is a new year. This is your family. This is your life. And guess what? You get to decide how it's going to go. So if this is me, I have a teenager, I have a tween, and I am going to decide that in both of their respective schools and classrooms, that they are surrounded by supportive adults, that they are surrounded by people who they feel safe with, that they feel protected by, that at home they feel safe with me and protected with me, that they can go through hard things and learn and grow. So I'm going to set my intention for the things that I want, that feel important to me and align with my values, and I want you to do the same thing right now. If you need to take some time, you can do that. If you're watching the replay, you can pause it. You can journal through this. Write out what you want. I want you to be as clear as you can be. I want you to use the feeling words. So in my program, people get to be master's level experts at naming their emotions, acknowledging and moving through them really quickly and efficiently. We do this in my 16-week program and workshop it each week on our calls. I want you to just do what you can with that now. As an example, you might feel like, I want it to go smoothly. You might feel like, I want my kids to feel confident or relaxed. I want to feel confident and relaxed. As a mother, you might feel like, I want to trust that I can stick to the schedule I set for myself, or that I can handle and not take on more than I set out to do. I want to trust myself to not pick up and volunteer for everything. I want to trust myself that I'll keep to my work schedule and separate work from home. I want to trust myself that I'll be really present through this transition to help my children to feel settled and in charge of themselves. Just throwing out some ideas here. Okay, got it? Say when you're ready. Say ready. And we're going to go on to step 2, which is a no-brainer if you've done consciousness work or you've done some inner work or relationship dyadic work with your kids. Maybe you've had therapy where you've worked with your kids in therapy and you understand that this piece is so critical. But for some of you, this will be like oh my gosh, I'm not doing that. Even though I know it, I'm not doing that. So after you set your intention, step 2 is to communicate it with your children. Communicate it with your family, your spouse. Why do we need to do that? Well, it may be stating the obvious, but if people don't know what your plans are, they cannot possibly work with you on them. If children in your home, don't know what you expect of them, they cannot possibly work to meet those expectations. If you are just in a default operating system where you are just trying to anticipate every need of your child, anticipate the need of your spouse, on top of that, working your full-time job, on top of that, planning homeschool, whatever else you're holding, all the plates you're spinning, it's never going to work. You're already setting yourself up for frustration, for failure, and for kids feeling the result of that, emotional instability. When you set your intention and then you do the second step of communicating that with your children, not as a dictator, not as a rule setter, not as a threat, this is how it's going to go or else, not as any of those things, but from the energy of empowered love, connection to your heart. This is my vision for our family. Okay, so that's about 50% of it. The other 50% of communicating your intention with your children is asking them what they want. We need to ask if we want to find out. If we want to build trust with them, we need to ask. And then you listen to them. This is a co-creative process. This is a collaborative process. How we do in our back to school transition as a family is a collaborative process between you and your partner, if you have one, your spouse, or just you and your children. So some of you may be doing this solo. Awesome. More power to you. You can do this. This is a collaboration between you and your children. And I don't care if they are 2 or if they are 12 or if they are 18. It is a collaboration between you and your children. Now, you're going to lead them in different ways and communicate with them in different ways depending on their developmental age, capacity, their brain development. But it's always a co-creation. It's a conversation to find out what your kids want. What is their intention? And you may ask, what do you want for the school year? What is your intention? Now, some of you have strong-willed kids. Some of you have anxious kids who are terrible with transitions, meaning it throws them into a loop of chaos. And then there's all the pieces to pick up. So you're tiptoeing around that. You're doing that tightrope walk, trying to not upset anyone, which doesn't help. What you need to do instead is talk with them directly about what they want and what they need in order to feel successful, in order to feel calm, in order to feel in charge. And guess what? You need to get in the mirror and have that conversation with yourself. What do I need in order to feel in charge, in order to feel calm, in order to feel in control? What do I need? So it's a co-creation with them. It's also a creation process within yourself. So strong-willed kids need, number one, above all things, to have buy-in. And I know some of you, we messaged about this. Some of you who are coming in to watch this talk today, we messaged about your strong-willed kids and about how you don't want to get involved in the power struggle with them, which is a great idea. But what else to do? How to set them up for success and have this experience where they feel in charge of themselves? They need buy-in. You need to get their buy-in. And then for really anxious kids, they need to know they have control over themselves. They need to know the plan. So that is our work, to construct the plan and stick to the plan with them, which takes me to step number 3. which is self-management. What is your self-management plan? You need one. You need a self-management plan, roadmap, or practice. And if you are kind of just reacting to the kids or their state or the school schedule or what the teacher says to your kid that you don't like, you will have no stability emotionally or mentally. You will not have an anchor, and your kids will also feel that and feel, oh my God, no one's the captain of the ship. Who's driving the ship, and we're in trouble. And they pick that up. So what gaps can you identify between where you exist now in your now reality and the reality where your intention is fulfilled? Where are the gaps? And be honest about this. Say it in the chat if you know where they are, what they are. Is it your ability to be emotionally stable? Is it your ability to be consistent and follow through? Is it for you to feel focused, calm, and clear because you get reactive or you get rocky or you feel unprepared? Is it a lack of confidence? Is it maybe more action oriented? Oh my God, I can just see that I'm taking too much on and I need to retrain everyone in my house. Everyone's grown older, they're more capable, but I haven't given them things. I'm still doing everyone's laundry. And I have a 7-year-old or I have a 13-year-old. I'm still doing their laundry and I don't have time for that. Or maybe it's shifting the way that things flow at home, your schedule. Maybe it's saying no to your usual way of taking on too much. Do you need to shift some responsibilities? Do you need to do some close some gaps on creating healthy boundaries for yourself or on knowing your needs and how to live from your needs? Now ask yourself, can you get there? And be honest. Can you get there by yourself? Do you know how? Do I know how to close the gaps? There are some pretty big gaps when you start looking at this. Emotional stability, pretty big gap. Mental clarity, pretty big gap. And you may be falling back on, but I have ADD, so it's a lost cause anyway. And it isn't. Emotional focus can be developed, can be grown. You're neuroplastic. We can develop these things, tapping into what we know about how the brain works, tapping into what we know about how to allow and move through and dissolve an emotion really quickly, which is all things that I teach my clients. So usually we are the biggest obstacle in our own way. That's usually true. So I'm going to offer you a fourth step, a bonus step today, which is if you can see the gap and you want to close the gap, invest in the outcome you want. Invest in the solution. Invest in the solution to the problem you have. If you know that this is the umpteenth school year you've started feeling like chaos and your relationships are not where you want them to be with your kids, or you don't have the clear mental focus you want, you don't have the emotional stability that you want, you feel like you're trapped in past trauma or on a hamster wheel, invest in the solution you need. So that's something that we can have a conversation about. If you want to know more about how I help moms in my 16-week program, how I transform people from living in trauma to living in the everyday present with joy, then say something in the comments. I'll reach out to you. We can set up a time. For everybody who's on this training, who watches the replay, I'm offering you a juicy free offer today. So whether or not you are feeling like you have a handle on starting the school year, maybe you need a little tweak, or maybe you need ultra help, mega help creating your plan. I want you to take all your notes that you write from this talk, and I want you to bring them into a free personalized call with me. And we're going to take this plan or the makings of it, and we're going to assess exactly what you need for the kids you have and for your temperament and for your needs and the way that you work and what you want. And we're going to cater a plan specifically to you. I am going to do that with you on a free call. It's absolutely free. We're going to book 15-minute slots. They're actually more like 20 minutes, but this helps us stay hyper-focused on just your needs and what you want. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to ask you to clarify what you need, and we will draw up a very solid plan for you to transition back to the school year with ease. And the reason why I'm offering this to you is because I want you to feel that kind of connection to your own confidence as you turn the page into this school year. I want you to be able to stand solid on your own feet and tell your kids what's up and hear from them and start to really develop that confidence with them. So I'm going to drop in the comments right now, book your 15-minute planning session here, and you guys are going to click this link and you're going to get on my calendar and you're going to do this preferably. If you've already started the school year, it's okay. We can still work with where you are, preferably within the next week. So spots are going to be limited because we're just doing this in this time frame where we're focusing on the 3-part plan. Okay, so take action now. Don't wait. Unless you're not able to find a time, in which case message me. I can open up something for you. Okay, you guys. So you've got your marching orders. I want you to take the notes that you can, and then I want you to get on my calendar, and we're gonna do a free catered 3-step plan for you so that you have confidence going into your school year and your kids feel it, and you guys have a little sparkle to you as you transition. All right. So drop your takeaways now in the comments. What was the step that you feel like you need the most work on? And then go ahead and book your call as soon as you can. Okay, you guys, lots of love. Let me know how this goes for you. See you soon.